What's up YouTube, Zephyr Games, bringing you, as you can see, an updated Vendread deck profile. Now, straight away, we have the brand new Battle Lord. This is all ready for the ban list that comes out on Monday, or officially released on Monday. It's a shame, but without that, it's still very, very fun to play. It's a nice little change of pace, and it might actually see some play in the upcoming meta. Maybe not as dominant as it could be, but you never know, this could get a busted card like Spiral's got with Double Helix. Anyway, without further ado, I'll take you straight through the deck and show you what we've got. So we play double Battle Lord. 2 is more than enough. 3 can be a little bit too cloggy. So because it's a brand new card, I'll read it out for you. You ritual summon it with any Vendread ritual spell. Banish 1 Vendread card from your graveyard and declare 1 type of card, monster, spell or trap. For the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects of that type. If this ritual summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 ritual monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, send 1 Vendread monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn, so he's a nice little Shockmaster for your turn only. It's a shame it's not a quick effect. That would be really, really busted. Spell. And the 1 Chimeric, it's still quite good, it's just not as busted as it could be. You know, it's a shame that that was a secret and that one isn't, but you know, regardless. Anyway, next up we played 2 Vendread Core. Now this is another one of the brand new cards, and it's very, very powerful. So if this card is in your graveyard, you banish 1 other zombie monster from your graveyard and special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Vendread monster ritual summoned using this card on the field gains this following effect. That's the other downside to the Vendreads, is it has to be on the field to gain the additional effect, which is a bit of a shame. That's to kind of make your monsters a little bit immune by targeting. We then play double Vendread Hound. You can cut Hound down to 1 if you wish. Hound basically gives the ritual monster, you target a spell or trap card your opponent controls and banish it. We then play the 1 Revenants. It allows you, and then finally the 1 Striges. This, after damage calculation, if it battles an opponent's monster, you can draw 1 card and discard 1 card. It's a nice little 1-for-1, but the best thing about Hound and Revenants is it is quick play, so you can kind of just deal with your opponent's back row, and of course your opponent's monsters. The reason we've only got the 1 Revenants is because it is specific as a special summon monster, but Hound can be very, very useful in like a Pendulum Magician matchup. Then it is double Unizombie for me, in my personal opinion, because you want to play, you're focusing more on your Vendreads. Double Unizombie is more than enough on that. We then obviously finish off the zombie lineup with the 1 Gozuki and the 1 Spirit Master, and of course, you know, the reason we play double Snow is because Snow is busted as hell. In a 60 card version, I'd highly advise you to play Snow at more than that. You could play a 60 card Vendread version. The only issue with that is it already lacks a little bit of consistency. So what you'd only gain from the 60 card is you'd be abusing the zombie engine a lot more, because you would then, when they're in the graveyard, use their effects to banish themselves to bring them on the board and then use your ritual summon plays. So, onto the spells. We play triple Revendread Origin, again, must-have card. Revendread Slayer, you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you banish this card. Sorry, free pre-prep of rights. Again, the only one it can search out is Revendread Slayer, remember that. It can search out the ritual spell, but because the ritual spell specifically lists Revendread Slayer on it, it can search him out on top of that. The reason we're playing free is we do want to see it in our opening hand, otherwise your Revendreads and your Vendreads are kind of dead. Next up we play Triple Allure. You've got a load of dark monsters in your deck, and the best thing, when we get to the next couple of cards I'll show you. I'm still debating which ones I want to use, but you do banish quite a lot in this deck, can be very, very useful and helpful. We then play double Vendread Charge, again another one of the new cards, and it should have been a super. Like, I mean, look at this artwork. This artwork is absolutely amazing if the camera wants to focus. Like, absolutely amazing. That as a holo or a sequel would have looked unreal. So you send 1 zombie monster from your hand or face up from your field to the graveyard and special summon 1 Vendread monster from your deck. You can only use it once per turn. 3 is okay, you can definitely bump it up if you want to, but 2 is just enough in my personal opinion. We also play 2 pre-prep of rights, because you've got loads of level 7s or lower. All your ritual monsters are level 7 or lower, and then it allows you to recycle your ritual spell. And with the ritual spell, when you feel banishing to protect your monsters, which 9 times out of 10 you might not do per se, you could definitely play pre-prep of rights at 3, because obviously now it is allowed at 3, which is really, really cool. So you can definitely bump that if you want. I could only find 2, but I would advise putting a 3rd in if you wanted to. Now, these are the cards that I'm torn between. So we've got 1 Pot of Acquisitiveness and 1 Burial from a Different Dimension. Now, obviously both of them have their pluses. Burial returns to the graveyard, so it lets you reuse your Mizukis a lot more consistently and move from there. And obviously you can then recycle your Vendread monsters on top of that. Your Pot of Acquisitiveness gives you that extra draw and puts them back into deck. So if you're already going to be sending them from deck to grave anyway, it's not the end of the world, because obviously you have stuff like your Battle Lord to help you do that. And you could also mill it a little bit more as well. So again, Pot of Acquisitiveness might be more useful in a 60 card version, but regardless, you can either have 2 of either of these, in my personal opinion. Double Burial can work very, very well, but you want to see it maybe turn 2 after you've got a bit of banishing going. And then Acquisitiveness can be a nice little late game +1, which we're banishing off of Allures. We've got Snows to banish, we've got Mizukis that are going to banish, and then we've got our Vendreads that are going to banish as well. So it is just an option for you. And then, of course, we've got the 1 Foolish Burial to send, and because it is a Backblab, we have the 1 Monster Reborn. You know, don't expect Monster Reborn to last too long, guys. In my personal opinion, it will be a Snatch Steal. It is just too busted. Not only are you ripping from your opponent's graveyard, you can bring back from your graveyard. And it just, if you go into your Omegas, they clear off your Omega, you bring Omega back. Nothing's attached to it, it's a spell, it's just so quick. And then, of course, for the traps, we play the 1 Solemn Judgment, because it outs absolutely everything and can be played at any point during the game, because it only halves your life points, there's no specific cost for it. And then, of course, we play the 1 Vendread Revolution. So you discard 1 card, then target 1 Vendread monster and 1 ritual spell in your graveyard, special summon that monster in defense position, and if you do, add the ritual spell to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 5 of your banished zombie monsters, shuffle them into the deck, and draw 1 card. So ideally, you could, if you wanted to, take this out for another Burial from a different dimension and keep the Acquisitiveness in, because it kind of does the same second effect. Again, the artwork on this is absolutely stunning. Really, really like that. So good. But the discard and target a Vendread monster in kind of revival is very, very helpful as well. You don't have to play this. It is like a 42 card deck, so it's down to personal preference. I just wanted to show off as many of the new cards that were released as possible in the deck, but it can be taken out and changed around should you need it to be. Now onto the extra deck. And again, the extra deck is down to personal preference. I was tweaking and thinking about playing Eater of Millions in the deck, because you don't rely on the extra deck as heavily as maybe you might have done in the past. Less so for the Revendreads themselves. They don't need to access the extra deck as heavy, which is why most of our targets in our extra deck are for our uni-zombie and kind of general zombie plays. So we start off with the Link monsters, go nice and straightforward with that. We've got the 1 Borolo Dragon, because it is the most powerful Link 4, in my personal opinion, around. And we've got the Siriju Skull Dread as well, because it kind of just suits the art. In my personal opinion, it suits the archetype. The archetype's based off Spawn and Resident Evil, and to me, this is Spawn's Dragon. Like, no argument, this is Spawn's Dragon in my personal opinion. The 1 Akessi Magician, because I personally think it's a great card to play. We've got the 1 Coral Dragon that can be made, ditch, pop, everything, get a draw. The 1 Clearwing, the 1 Black Rose for a reset. The 1 Shiranui Shogun Saga, again, this helps banish your zombie monsters as well. You can pay Shiranui Spirit Slash, I believe it is, the track card that like pops 2, and then you get to pop 1 more when you banish. Ideally, you're going to be banishing either your Solitaire or your Spirit Master and going from there. So it does give you a couple of options if you want to try that out. The 1 Bills, because it's a bit of a beast of a level 8, and I didn't want to have 3 Omegas. If you want to take Bills out, you can put in a 3rd Omega, absolutely fine. I just think 2's more than enough, because you can make it, rip 2 from your opponent's hand, and then Ritual Summon. So it does give you a couple of options to work with. Also with the Link monsters is 1 Underclock Taker. Not imperative, just a very, very good, nice common that you get in the set. And basically, once per turn, it's 2 effect monsters. Once per turn, you target 1 face-up monster this card points to, and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. The opponent's target loses attack equal to the attack of the targeted monster this points to until the end of this turn. So it basically allows you to get over bigger beta monsters if you can target them. And then we've just got a standard rank 4 toolbox of Tornado Dragon, Bagooska if you want a slower turn, Castiel, Sky Blaster, and then we finish off with the 1 Breaksword that can be made with a Uni-Zombie should you need it, and obviously Vendread Hound Horde if you want to. It gives you a couple of options, you don't have to make it, and like I said, the extra deck is down to personal preference. If you were to play Eater of Millions, as far as I'm concerned, there's a good, like the only ones you must kind of really want to go into is like Cypher Nord Omega is the main card you're going to be going into, but the rest can technically be Eater of Millions fodder. I'm not saying you would do, it does give you an option. Again, in the 60 card version, if you would like to see a 60 card Vendread, let me know and I'll put that together. It does then open up the door for, of course, your plays with Pot of Desires, opens up your plays with maybe a Grenmanju if you want to tech Grenmanju in, and it can also do like Necrophage, stuff like that, just to add you a little bit more fun text to give it a go. Anyway, that is it for the deck profile. Hope you liked it. I hope it gives you a couple of ideas of using it as a structure for your own build, or net deck it if you need to try it out and see what works and what doesn't work for you. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. Also, YouTube, thanks for watching that video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button. And of course, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button in the bottom left-hand corner and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. We've got more deck profiles, duels, pack openings, and many more Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos coming up for you all year round. So don't forget to stay tuned for all of that. Thanks, and as always, guys, happy dueling.